Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, very good. So in the last sessions, we have discussed about some theoretical part and as well as some practical examples, like what is a skill and what is database. And we have done some basics commands like create database and how to drop, how to insert the new values into the existing table. So today we are going to deal with some of the commands. As you can see on the screen, this is the topics today we are going to discuss. So as usual, always use MySql workbench because it is a very user friendly rather than using command line interface. So now I'm going to create the new table. As you know, already know, for creating the new table, we use some commands like create table name. So like we are going to give the table name like PCS global. So in the subfields like ID it is an integer data type. So we are going to use the int and we are going to use the one special keyword like primary key. So primary key, I will explain everything. So actually primary key. So primary key it is a constraints. So which can be used to retrieve the unique row from the tables. So if you talk about the functionalities of primary key, it doesn't support duplicate values and it does not allow null values. So each table per table can have only one primary key. And this one is the varchar as you already discussed in the last sessions. And the another one is the decimal. So this is one kind of data type in SQL. So here in the decimal we given the range like 5, 2. So it indicates that it takes total 5 spaces. 5 indicates the total 5 space, and where 2 indicates it is the fractional value. That means after dot symbol, it occupies 2 places. So if you run this command, we will get error because we didn't choose any database. So without choosing any database, we cannot create any table. So for that, we need to choose our database. For that, we use command like use and database name like PCS. How the database has been created successfully. So as I said yesterday, if you want to see the description of the table, you can use this keyword and do table and PCS global. You run, it will display the description of the table. So now I want to insert some records into the PCS global data. So you already know for inserting a new record into the table, we use command like insert into table name that is called PCS global values. Here we need to specify the ID value. For example, take ID value as a 202 and a full name. XYZ and price. So for example, 50.35. So here we notice this is the total space. So 5 space is occupied. In the 5 space, after the decimal, there are 2 space are occupied. That is 3, 5. So this space is indicating this 2. Now record has been inserted successfully. So if you do like this one by one, it is a time taking process. It is a very, so for example, if you want to insert to 100 records, 20 records, then it will take time consuming. So we need to overcome that problem also. We can insert at a multiple records at a time, at a once. Simply just give the comma and same like this. Give the ID number 203, ABC, and something value. So if you didn't give the dot fractional value, this SQL will automatically generate. So if we execute this command, definitely we will encounter a problem. See the error, duplicate entry 202. So as I said, primary key constraint, it does not allow duplicate values and as well as a null values. So that it returns as a error, duplicate entry 202. So for that we can change 205 and give some random text like KLM. If you execute it, it will execute. Now see the results, it has been executed successfully. Now see the results for seeing the records. For getting the results, we can use the commands like a select star. It indicates the all the records, not a single. It star indicates every records from the table. Star from which table? PCS global. See the now the record has been successfully inserted. So as I said earlier, here we give only 3 values. So see the result. this SQL automatically will occupy the file space. Whether you give or not, it will automatically occupy the space. So now suppose I want to retrieve data. So for example, consider in our table, we have a lots of data. We have a 1,000.
1 minute.
What's this? Who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's this? Hello? Yeah, okay, guys. So for example, in our table, it contains 100 records. So among those records, we need some certain data, like who is coming from this area, whose name is XYZ, whose name is PQR. So in that case, if you want that kind of records, again, we need to use some reserved keyword. Select start from PCS global. So after that, we need to mention some conditions. Where? So actually, where it is in a keyword, it will filter the result. So select start from global. So this command will return all the records from the tables. After that, this where condition will apply. For example, here we are going to give the syntax like who is coming, who is ID is 204. So we need to mention ID is equal to 205. So where it is a keyword, it is used to filter the records. So if we execute this command, we can see the only particular record rather than displaying entire data. So as well as if you want to see the name, whose name is XYZ, you can simply say name is equal to XYZ. Hit the enter. It will retrieve the records, those who has name like XYZ. So this is the very useful command where it will filter the result. Next, we are going to see the command like alter. So actually alter. So this is a inbuilt command in the SQL. So it is very useful to add or drop, delete, and modify columns in the existing table. So if you in our table, so in our PCS global table, we have only 3 columns like ID, full name, price. So now we want to add some more columns like address. So in that case, we can use command like alter. So alter command. This command is used to add a new column and to drop existing column, and as well as we can modify the column. Like for example, if you want to change the size of the data, data type size, in that case, we can use alter table, this modify column. So for example, now I want to add a address for PCS global table. Order, so table name, PCS global. So add, we need to use add for adding a new column. So after that, we need to specify the column name like address. So for address, we need to give the data type like varchar. For timing, I am giving 20. Now see, order table PCS added address. 0 rows affected. That means the new column address has been added into the existing table. You can easily see that description. See, address has been added. So now we have added the address table. So what if you want to add address for ID for IDs? For each and every ID, we need to add address. So for that, we need to use again one command like update. So actually update, this command is used to modify the existing rows in a table. So for else, we can easily think like select start from PCS global. So we have already some rows. So to update. See, this command is used to modify the existing rows. So here we already some rows in the existing table. So here we are going to modify. So that means we are adding the address. So for that we need to use update command. So the syntax for updating rows is like go update table name. We need to specify on which table we are updating the values, and we need to set the values, set the column and corresponding values. So who can specify the where conditions for particular, for example, if you want to add only for certain ID, certain ID record, in that case we can use where condition. So update CS global set address where ID is equal to 202. The, uh, the output is showing like update PCS set address where ID. One row affected. So that means the change has been added successfully. If you want to see the result, you can simply see the address has been added on particular ID, that is 202. So we can we can add like this. Bangalore. So basically, all the records has been updated. So next, these two commands we will see after India 5 after 5 minutes. Yeah, this command. So rename. For example, our current table name is PCS Global. So if you want to change our table name as a new name, in that case, we can use rename command. So see the description of the rename. So this command is used to rename an object in the database. So object in the database. So inside databases, we have a lot of tables. So for taking technically, each table considered as an object. So this is the command for changing the old name to new. Rename table. On which table? Table on which table? Old table name to new table name. For example, rename table. So here we need to give the old table name like PCS global to new table name. You are going to give the only global. Since the rename table has been successfully renamed. So now if you see the description of the table, it will throw error. See, because this table doesn't contain in the database. So table pieces global doesn't exist. So because we rename old to new table number like PCS global. So we need to specify like that. PCS global. If you see the description, it will display the result. Again here also, select start from. It won't display the result. It will give the result. So this is the command used to renaming the table name from old to new. So now we are going to see the aggregate functions or aggregate queries. So actually MySql SQL provide aggregated functions. So actually aggregated functions are nothing but inbuilt functions. So that are used to perform some calculations on data and it return a a single value as a result. So for example, if you have a multiple values group of data, if you want to perform some functions on the two group of data, in that case, this aggregate functions are very useful. So it will calculate those results and return single value as a result. So below are the top 5 aggregate functions. One is sum, another one is average, broad max, minimum, and count. So these are the aggregate functions. The first one is sum. So the sum, it is a function in SQL. It is used to calculate the sum of a column. So this functions allows you to add up a column of numbers in SQL table. So basically, sum function. It is a function easy to calculate the sum of the values on specified column. So if for example, if you have a one columns, in that columns, if you have integer values, if you want to calculate total integer values, in that case, we can use the sum function. So the basic syntax of the sum functions is like this: select sum, and we need to mention the column name, on which column we are going to apply the sum functions from the table. So below is the sample example. So I have a, for example, consider in an order table, we have a quantity. So quantity is nothing but a integer data type. So we here this command is written sum of the quantities from the order table. So in our example, in our PCS global data table, we have a price. So we have a price column. So in this column, we have a integer kind of data. So now if you want to sum all these values, we can use aggregate function. One of the aggregate functions is sum. So select, we need to sum the functions. So for that, we need to use sum function and specify the column name. Column name is price. From which table? PCS global. PCS global. So if we execute this command, it will return the sum. Here, the output is something like 2312. But here, this result, it is showing like the sum price. It is not convenient. It is not understanding user behavior. So if you want to custom output, we can also did that like we need to use one command like as total sum. So it will display total sum. See, same results, but the output has been changed. Total sum. So this is the total sum of the pieces global table. So here we calculated all the prices. So for example, in our table, let's consider 50 records. So I don't want to calculate all the 50 record price. I want to calculate from certain range, like from 25. Hello guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for confirmation. So where I am? Yeah. In our table, if we have a 50 records, so in that 50 records, I don't want to calculate a 50 record price. So I want to calculate only 20 records from certain range, like from ID is equal to 210. In that case, we can use where conditions. So in the previous command, we used it like this. We calculated all the values. For now, I want to calculate from to ID number from 203 to 205. In that case, we need to use like this, where ID is equal to 203. So if you specify this, the SQL engine will understand from to ID number 203, it will calculate all the price values. See, the result is 634. We can do, we can calculate the entire, or we can calculate certain range also. So this is the sum aggregate function is useful. The next one aggregate function is average. So if you want to find the average of the price column, we can simply use same like this. Simply AVG and give the column name, and you can specify the custom output and from which table. Yeah, you can specify the where condition also. Yeah, you can directly calculate entire average also. It's up to you. For time being, I am removing the condition. So if you execute, so first see the what is the average. Okay. So if you execute, so finally it will give the average sum 578.1172500. So this is the command which is used to calculate the average value. And the next one is max command. Max. It is used to find in the maximum value, which is the highest value in the price. So see the description. The max function in SQL is used to return the maximum value of an expression in a select statement. So the basic syntax is select max. We need to specify the column name, on which column we are going to find the maximum value and from which table. So we are going to find the first, let's see which one is the highest value. So 888.88. This one is the highest value. Max value from the PCS global. So if we execute, it will give the maximum values. So no, I don't want to calculate entire. So I need to calculate maximum value from certain range. Like I will give. So let's give the maximum value whose range above 500. So in that case, I will give the where condition like where price is equal to price greater than 500. So this command will execute the result like whose price is greater than 500. Among those results, it will find the maximum value. It is giving 888. So similarly, minimum command is also same, like min command is same work, but it will return the minimum value from the table. So here we can give the, I don't want to give the condition. So if you execute, it will give the minimum value. So for example, I want to give the one condition. So here I want to give a one condition like, so I need to find the minimum value from 500 to 700. Between this range, I need to find the minimum value. So in that case, we need to specify like this: price greater than, not greater than, price less than. It will give the result double three, triple three, and 35. So, and the final one is the count. So count. So this is an one aggregate function in SQL. So it returns the number of rows that contain the table. Count is a SQL functions that return the number of rows that matches a specified criteria. That means specified criteria means after selection statement, the where condition will specify. And the count function is used when you need to know the count of record in a certain table column. So if you don't know how many records present in the table, in that case we need to find, yeah, how many records are there in a particular table. In that case we can use this count aggregate functions. So here we can use this count function in a two different ways. One is count hashtag. So hashtag and the other one is the count column. So the count hashtag, it counts all the rows in a target table, whether the column contain null values or not. For example, in our table, if we have a null values, it will accept that also. It will count. If you use this kind of command. So this command count column counts the rows in a column of a table excluding now. So for example, if you want to count on a specific column name, in that case, it does not take the null values. It excluding the null values. And finally, it will return the result. So for we can see the practicals. So select count star. Star indicates total from PCS global. Total 4 records. So we can verify easily like, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 records. So that's why it is showing 4 records. So for example, now I am reviewing the address of 205. global. So now we changed the address as a null from Hyderabad. So in that case, if you use this command, select count has hashtag symbol, it will count everything. It will give the count as a 4. So if you want to count on a particular column, as I said earlier, so I need to count on address. How many rows are present? So in that case, I need to specify the column name, address. So if you execute this command, it will return only 3. So because it doesn't include the null values. So that is the difference between count star and count column. So these are the aggregate functions. And yeah, come with this too. So alter. So we have added a new column address. So now I need to remove that address. So how to do that? We can use same like alter command. So see the description, alter. So this command is adding and deleting and modify the existing table. So for dropping any particular columns, we can use command like this. Alter table name, drop, it is a command, inbuilt command, and we need to specify the column name. So alter table name PCS global, drop column name is address. If we execute this command, it will drop the address column. See the results, errors affected, duplicated warning. So it has dropped the column. You can easily verify that. See, there is a no address column. So now I need to modify. So here, if you see description, see, so if you notice the price, so for price, I gave only 5 spaces only. Now I need to modify from 5 to 10. So from 5 to 10, and I need to give the fractional space 5 numbers. So in that case, we can use alter command. Yeah, this command. So this command, alter table name, modify. In that case, yeah, we are going to modify. So that's why we need to use the modify column. Modify command and column and specify the column name and data type. Newly data type, not a word. So same alter table PCS global, modify column. So which column we need to modify? This price column. So price, we need to specify the data type, decimal, and we need to give the total size as a 10 and the fractional space is 5 and execute the command. Now the command has been executed. So if you see the description, so see, we modified it the price data type from 5 spaces to 10 spaces. So if we retrieve the data from the table, see whether you give or not, it will automatically consider spaces. So truncate. So rename we already discussed, update we already discussed, though this one is pending. Yeah, we will see in a later. So before going to truncate, we need to see something like, yeah, delete. So basically delete command. So delete. So if you want to delete any record from your existing table, in that
Hello.
case, hello,
Yeah, I'm audible.
yes, you are audible.
So here, you have used one update command. Along with that, you have used modified. So I think it's working similar. Then what's the difference among these two? Can you
Which
little
one?
bit
Which one?
update and modify?
Yeah, actually modify it deals with the columns only, column level. So for
But
example, if you have a
in
column
case of
like
update,
price,
also we are doing the same thing in column numerals, right?
here we didn't deal with values, we are dealing with only columns. So if you want to modify column only, not a values, in that case we need to use modify. Hello?
Okay, so if we'll use modify in that case, we are not able to set the value in that column, right?
Yeah, we didn't set the values. We can only change we can add or we can update the column under the data type.
Okay.
So the update delete command. So basically delete command. So this command is used to if you want to delete a particular row from your table. In that case, you can use the delete command. So this command is used to delete existing rows. Rows or records, both are same from a table. So this is the basic syntax. So for deleting any row from existing table, we need to give the where conditions. Then only it will execute.
The drop is for column and delete is for row, right?
Sorry, can you come with again?
Uh, Drop command is used for the column only, and delete is for row only, right?
Yeah, drop can be used to column and as well as to table. For both, we can use drop. For dropping columns. For dropping values rows, we need to use delete command.
Okay.
So if you want to delete row, I need to delete ABC name. Delete from PCS global. So where which row we need to delete? We need to specify that to column, that mean column name and value. So ID is equal to 203. If we execute this command, it will delete particular row. See, the row has been deleted. You can verify. You can also verify like this. Yeah, see this. The table didn't contain 203 record. So, and the another one is truncate. So actually truncate. So for example, assume that you have a one table. So in the table, you have a 10 records. Take an example, 10 records. So now you need to remove only records, only 10 records from the tables. The structure of the table should be remain. In that case, we can use this truncate command. So this command is used to remove all records from a table, including all spaces allocated for the records which are removed. So spaces, null values, all will be removed, but the table structures will be remained same. So we need to use truncate command. Truncate table name. This is the basic command. Truncate table, on which table we are applying this truncate command. PCS global. So if we execute this one, this command has successfully executed. So if you want to see the description of the PCS global table, it will be there. See ID, full name, and price. So if you see the results, there is a no result. So that is the difference between a delete, truncate, and a drop. So truncate will remove all records. Delete will remove particular records. And a drop, it will be used to drop entire database along with the records and on a particular column also.